Hey everyone, today I'm going to be live streaming me building out a PowerShell function, more than likely. My idea is to create a type of pivot object, and really the source of inspiration for the session is going to come from Reddit today. There's a post earlier um, wanting to basically pivot an object. Like here's what they're wanting to achieve is they've got their data, but they want to see like a pivot table. Now, my recommendation was to dump your data into Excel and create a pivot table. That's what we're staring at here, right? But this felt like a fun challenge to put to code, and if it works out, I might post it on here. I'm tagging this one with like PowerShell TV. I don't know if I should call it Let's Play or not, but bear with me. I'm just figuring this out as I go. So, pivot object. So I need some objects to pivot, right? Let's say our data looks like, let's do this. Let's do objects equals, I need some data to work with. So I'm going to start with an array to have more than one thing to deal with. In there, I'm going to place in some hash tables. Let's say name equals guy Joe. If you're watching this on the replay, something I do on code videos like this is speed up the play. So if you set me at like 1.25 or 1.5, um, it might be more easier to watch the length of a video that this might become. Because often there's dead spots in here as we figure out odds and ends. All right, Sue is a user. I'm also going to make Sue an admin. All right. So what I want is, let's say this is my data, and we can do some different data formats later, but say this is my data. I've got a name and a group, a name and a group, a name and a group, right? I've got these that repeat. And our end results is something that basically says name, comma, uh, user admin. I'm going to say Joe, true. Also, I'm just going to put in true values. So it'll always be a false, but it'll be an empty value. Joe, so it's all real-time coding here, right? So we can come up with number works. Let's go true and true. So Joe doesn't have the admin attribute, but I want the end result. I will want the admin to say across here. So if by chance we add someone else in here, call this um, Adam. This here is ports. We're going to pivot on these values so that we're going to add a ports. We'll add a Adam, comma, comma, true. Let's line these up. True. In a way that I don't like that. Let's do this notation. All right, it's just that I know, right, we've accomplished our goal here. I think you kind of get what I'm going for. is that it's basically a table that's pivoted. In fact, I'm going to so go there, that. So I know sometimes not necessary for me to actually draw this out for you. So this is really what we want to create, is something that looks basically like this from this data up above. Okay? So how do I want to do that? Well, I need to first figure out what properties I have, right? Let's call properties, or let's do, I'm going to call these the properties that go across the top. So properties equals, I've got my objects, can I just do dot group select object unique? That's too easy. Do what I get. Alright, so I'm executing my object. If I run this, I see what's in here. Okay, so that's the properties. I guess I need row. Right. I need to know what my top um, column equals and row equals, in my case, name. Right? I keep these. So my approach is, I know I'm going to need to change this out. So I'm thinking about my variables going into it, so that I can actually start doing that right away. Like this. And so now, if I want to pivot something on something different later, I can use that variable to do it. So I still get my properties. Yes. All right. I want to call my rows. I need a row object. I do objects dot row select object dash unique. So my unique value is there. Josu Adam. Okay. So I got my what do I call these guys? These are naming variables is always the most difficult thing because you want it verbose enough that you know what it is. Let's do column things. I'm gonna call this guy here row. So row property. Anyways, because okay, let's do function pivot. Usually do this later, but it might make sense more for you guys if I kind of start building out my function pieces here, so you kind of see what I'm going as I do this. So let's do my commandlet binding and my brand. This is the minimum I need to get us started here. Okay, so now I've got some column property and the row property. Does that make sense? So if I'm saying these are my columns, I need my input object, right? Input object. Objects. I'm just going to rename this guy now. So that I'm working with value name, I like it a lot better. Pick good variable names from the get-go. It makes everything else easier down the line. I think that guy just only the guy empty up here because I've already defined him above. I'm basically seeding this out up here. Let me move this guy above because I know I've got hash tables in here, but these could be objects. So I'm going to do it with hash tables to begin with because I think everything I'm doing now also applies to objects. That's like what my ultimate function will be. So, okay, column headings and row what? Rows? I just don't like that. I'll come back to it. Um, row names. Let's start that. For each, here's what I want to say. Each name in row names. Row names. So here's another convention that I have personally, is that public variables coming in from functions, I always capitalize them. Okay? So these are things that came in externally into my code. I try really hard to get my internal names, my private ones, as like lowercase. Kind of a new convention I've started holding myself to. But okay, so I need for a row here, I need an object, right? So here is the row object is for the hash table. And then there's a value here that's called row property equals name. Okay, I want that, just like that. And then you do a for each for, oh wait, this doesn't work. I can't put that there. I need to do multiple passes over all the objects. So I need something out here that is all objects. Let me call this guy my pivot table. Make him an empty one. So here I'm going to test for it. If pivot table dot name is not. If I don't have this, I have to create it. Let's create this guy right here. table.name. Okay, I'm going to name my objects as they go into the pivot table. Name equals a new pivot table. I want to put in that pivot table first time through. If it doesn't exist, I'm created. I'm going to put it in with a row property equals name. What do I want? Yeah. Oh, can I do this ordered? Order. Okay, this is a big question mark here because so I do ordered all the time, but I don't know if I ever add to an ordered array. I need to test something real quick. All right, so if I have test equals ordered array, right, b equals 1, run this, I see this guy, all right, b is equal to 1. Now can I do test dot a equals 2 and test dot c equals 3? These guys stay in order? So what happens here? B, A, C. Well, this guy is in order. What happens? C, A, B. All right, I don't know if you caught that, but because I made this guy ordered, move this around. Do this. Part of my method to my madness is always experimenting with the approaches, right? Because a normal hash table does not maintain the order of the properties you assign to them. But this is doing what I want it to do. So if I ever have a question, I just open a new tab, test it out, and come back. I'm a very iterative coder. So it's ordered. Okay, so now that we have an object with a name, we're going to go through every column. Headings. Do I need the S on there? I'll leave it on there. Selection. Okay, so for each what? Each, oh, actually, okay, column in column headings. I need to, God, what do I put in there though? Like I said, true up here. I'm saying true, but what if I have a duplicate object? What do I want to happen? Like, I'm almost wondering if I should put counts in there. Count, sum, or I could do a script block. I'm gonna come back to that. So for right now, I'm gonna put just in this column. Wait, if it doesn't exist. Oh, I'm also gonna. Oh wait, I'm just gonna create all the columns here. Does that make sense? What do you think about this? So I'm creating this object. First time I see it, I create this object. I'm apparently putting all the properties on there. I'm doing that so that all objects have all properties. So I'm basically making things a lot bigger than they need to be. But I think when I do like format table or export CSV later on, it handles that more appropriately if every object has every column, even if there's nothing in it. So that's what we're doing at this point, is creating empty columns. Should I put false in there to start with? Like, can I just create? Maybe I'll set it to null. So I'll do pivot table dot name dot column equals null. Okay. For each name and row names. Sorry, I'm thinking through my logic here. You know, that's the danger of doing things on the fly is, am I taking the right approach? And I want to find it early. If I'm feeling a bit off about my code. So I'm gonna take a second just to reassess where I'm at here. So I have column headings, I have row names. So I'm going through every row name. So here, for every name and row names, this is redundant, isn't it? Because my first time through. So, okay, so there's the question. So do I need to do a first pass through to build out the objects that's going to hold the data? Or do I go through my data and build the whole thing on the fly? I like making separate them or join them. I think I'm going to join them. Let's see how this works out. So it's not every name and row names. I'm going to go to every node in input object. So I'm really changing things up here. Say name equals node dots row dot row what? Row property. So now, yeah, that's what I was doing wrong there. Because so I'm walking through my input objects now, right? My input object, I'm going to go one at a time through it. I'm going to check the name of it. Oh, if I have this property, I'll do all this crazy stuff. Right, if I don't have it, so error check going away, right? Oh, what happened there? I hate when it does that. Not sure why. Okay, so if it's got a row property, I'm gonna call it the name. Add a right verbose. Name is, oh wait, table property here is, why is it like that? Oh, because, yeah, okay. You can do, the squiggly line threw me off here, and I didn't know what to think of it, but it's because it's treating it as part of the name. So if I had like, env temp, it sees this all as one variable and it'll translate it properly, but I didn't want that in my case. So this, then I'll put in name, and I get a verbose output when I get to this point. So right. Post, heading new, heading new, heading, heading, name 2, pivot table. Okay, so then, creating the object, and I'm creating all the properties and putting nothing in there. Okay, so now that I have an object here, I need to check my node. Okay, oh, wait, my node only has one column property. So I need to see what column property that is, reference my pivot table column and place the value in there. So if node dot column, autocomplete not working. I'll work better now. Column property. If I have that, um, let's make it confusing if I don't do that. Okay, so if I have a column property, I'm going to go into this guy here, into column name, put them equal to true. Damn, is that it? Am I done? Okay. I need some test cases, don't I? Alright. Prime. Pivot object. Doing some pester tests here just to see that it's doing things right. And let's just see it. I want to see what this guy looks like. I want to see it or should I test for it? I want to see it. Like, oh wait. So at this point, I just have, no, I'm not done, I'm not done. So at this point, I have everything in my pivot table, hash table. And I want to now split back. Do I just want to take back? No, I don't. I want to convert these things to objects and toss them back in the pipe. So I'm going to do a for each key in pivot table dot keys. I better way to do this. I'm sure there's a way to do this, but right output um, pivot table dot key is object is custom object. This. Now, should I write my tests? No, let's see it once. I feel like we're close enough. And if we just execute this guy, run this, and I already have an input object. I'm going to change this guy Now leave it alone. So I have an input object, execute that. And I want to say pivot object. Input object is input object. Column, row property is name, and then column property is group. Go for broke. Actually, I should save this. Save your script. Save often. Let's go. Pivot object ps1. ps1. Oh wait. Sorry, I just closed the stream, and let me get that back on there. Sorry, too many buttons on my screen. So is this gonna work? Let's go for it. What happened? True. All right, let's do this with a group format table auto size. 2 Adam Joe. Dun dun dun. For this, we have to do like a sort object name format table auto size. Beautiful. We can do. I bet we can do it the other way too. Let's take group and call this guy name. Name and call this guy group. All right, to make sure I'm not cheating. This is a sanity check because when you swap them around, and I got group Joe Sue Adam. Beautiful. Okay, what do I do from here? Let me get some tests in since I've got some valid data, and we're going to change some things around a bit here. So I'm going to describe. Let's create this object. I'm going to change up all my data. So else going to have it is a admin. I'm going to say E is a record. Is the user. For some reason, Eve is an admin, right? Eve, hacker. I'm going to name this test object. Okay. And we'll say it's what's my function do? It returns 3 objects, right? So, the results equals the object. Input object is test objects. Row property is name. Column property is group. All right, let's say results should not be null or empty. And close guy real quick. Builds.count should be 3. Right, is that fair to the tests? Bam, confirms 3 objects. Okay. What I want to do. So what's bothering me is I don't know what to do with this guy here. So I want to say script block equals true. Okay. And I take the script block and down here, not there. I'm gonna do this side. Script block dot block script equals true. Dot invoke. Sorry, I'm I'm testing some ideas out here. So I kind of want to do this. Invoke. The script as comments. I do. Args. So yeah, so if I do this, I want to invoke it, and I give it the value that's in there. So I invoke it as true, nothing in there, so it is null. This way, if I want to do something clever later, like say, wait, what do I want to do here? I'm probably making this way too complicated, but I want to be able to either put counts in there, put trues in there, but what do I put in there if there's nothing in there? I'm overthinking this. Because this would be a great tool, right? If I just put in the right, if I take the right approach here, I can put about anything in there. I want. So maybe if I pass it the column name, no, that's when it's already in the table. So it's either null or what was already in there. But I need to pass in. No, I know. I know. If I do that, I say ram that. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's crazy. That's completely the wrong spot. Let's get back up. I don't know why I would jump to that spot. Where the hell did my function start at? Okay, strip block true. Ram. Test this out. Okay. Let's go back to my same old up here. One. Why do I have a I don't want that though. I just want a single one. Right? What if I duplicate one of these? Let's take this formatting my test out of here. It's my input object. Let's do, yeah, let's do that. Let's see what happens when I do duplicates. See, I didn't get that to, wait, did I execute this one? No. I didn't get that thing to, I might be overcomplicating it now though. Param is that plus 1. That's script block. One plus, no, plus 1 can't be. I'm gonna come back to this. I've got something there, maybe a great addition. I think I'll just do the, instead of doing the evoke, I'll say equals 1. Hit. Ow. Oh. Because null value every time, right? Null is, so it's complicated. All right. Pivot table. Let's do this again. Block. Equals the script here. Ram. Plus 1. Let's do this. Come up there. Execute this guy. And re-execute this guy. So I'm getting the results of my script block. Return as is. All I need. Return as is. Is that really? So invoke with context. What's this guy? Yeah, let's just try that. I want to see if this does match script. That might be just the solution I'm looking for. So you see what's happening there, right? Is I'm getting these unique arrays of results. Oh, I got too much going on now. At the point now I need to break that into multiple files because I'm scrolling way too much to find things. And it's a sign that it's getting overly complicated. So invoke return as is. Here. Open this. There it is. You get my twos. I swap it. Group name. I think I've got it. I'm going to do block true. Ah, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So let me think. I have this property. I think in my pivot table, not only, I'm going to do this side here. Not only am I going to, pass in the column table value that's already there, I want to also put in the node. Here, read only. Is that really a thing? Oh, yeah, I'll leave it just like that. So what this means is, if I have a different property that I want to sum, yeah, there we go. So if I had some other property that I want to sum, I could sum it on this. Okay, so here's the deal. Do I do this as a script block, or do I just create flags, properties, and arguments on the function to make this happen? I'm gonna, just in case I've got someone in the chat window. No viewers, okay. I was going to hop out and answer questions if anybody was still kind of following here. I'm going to actually double check Twitter as well. All right. Anyways, I've kind of got something pulled together here, and it's really cool that I was able to pull together and deliver this. Let me flesh out a few tests now, because I'm at the point now where I need to get some tests in place to make sure I'm not breaking things as I'm tweaking it. So it returns 3 objects. What else? How do I want to test the results on this guy? So my default option with name and group um, returns let's just say simple results. Simple results. And count should be 3. Results, in my case, 0 dot name should be my first name. I can't even know what's going to spit out first. Let's just say Kevin. Should be Kevin. Right? And results 0 dot what group was I in already? Admin should be should not be null or empty, and should be, what's my default going to say as? Let's just say 1. Admin should be 1. And results. The other direction. Name should be admin, and Kevin should be 1. I just want this to say group, it's going to be name. Okay, let's test this out, see if I'm anywhere close to what I need it to be. And if I'm not, I'll do some verbose outputting here. So describe all right, let's go clear. First, I got my 3 objects. Oh, Bob is the first. You know what? I'll roll with that. I just want some passing tests here. So this guy is okay. This guy should be Bob. And his group is user. Admin is user. Run this. Test 2 should be passing now. Bam, some results. Okay. So expected, that was name. Oh, group, right? Group should be, I guess, user and Bob. Oh, group should be user. Makes sense at all? So, I ask that question a lot. Is like, does this make sense? What am I doing? It feels off. User. Expected user, but was admin. Expected user, but was admin. Let's go back to Kevin. Let's keep this again. Damn, the other direction. Okay. Let's just make this here a context. of basic tests. Right. Okay. So now that I've kind of got something, I want to, yeah, break this guy up into a couple files. Get this guy saved again. All right, let's go to, I don't even know where that's at right now. CD documents, CD PepR, CD let's play. So new vector test for pivot object, ISE. These tests out of my describe. Yeah, to this whole section here. No errors. That's a good one. I got some dummy data in that context. So PowerShell. Oh, I also need to not source the file. All right, so I've got a pester test. I've got a cut from here. I need to clean this up at all. Let me comment this guy out. Alt. Can't serve its purpose, but I'll leave him there for clarity. Input object. Oh, too far, too far. I want to like call out some things that. All right, so now can I collapse this guy? Get him out of the way. Save that. Invoke pester. PowerShell does these things. Perfect. Okay. Another test I wanted to add in here now is changing that script, right? So I want to go back to this here. Um, it handles custom script blocks. Okay, let's do pivot option. Is it my object's getting so big here? I gotta break it out. Okay. It's already getting too long as it was. I wasn't really happy with it. So we're basically gonna end up splatting this right here. Objects. Group. Name. Okay, so custom script block is block equals param. True. That means this guy should be true. Save it. Handles. Basic custom strip blocks. All right. I'll do one a little bit more advanced here. It handles. Advanced custom strip blocks. All right. So param and object. I just want to say this plus this. This comma object dot dot name join with a colon, which means user should be Bob. Okay, if I have an null object, yeah, that'll do that. So how do can I do this? So I'm trying to do this little example where I'm shoving something else in there. This example might be more, there's a count column of some kind. I don't know. Here, I'm going to do like this. This plus tests. So I think so I'm just kind of doing more exploratory testing and vetting out at this point. Oh, we could do my parameters, right? My parameters now, get back to my pivot table, are very basic to begin with. And I think, let's do this. Start snippets. This might be one I created myself. A snippet I created on my own because I do this so often. Drew a collection of objects to pivot an array. Yeah, 0, true, true. Data input object. That's fine. I think I want the name come before the column. Right, skip it. Very simple. Tab, tab. That. Yeah, true. Actually, I can do. Yeah, I want this on there. You don't know what it is. The name of the bro heading. Oh, I like that. Bro heading. Oops. Let me fix that in my snippet. And let's do RP or even RH. Row heading. Drop the defaults. I'm going to trim that out. As 2 column heading. Column heading. Let's go. CH. It's not mandatory. A block to populate the data of the pivot table. And then like data point, comma, node. Let's make these single quotes so I can actually use that $sign in there. Param. You know, let's do a full example here, actually. Is underscore plus object dot value. Yeah, look at that. Right, this would be important to have good help on this. It's a very unique, I don't know how unique this is, but I think it's a clever approach to the problem. And I think I'm gonna put it into parameter sets. You want to do that? Yeah, that's another time. So I think I have it. Let's test it. Oh, I broke it. How did I break it? All right. So column property, script block, column heading. Oh, this guy. See, this is why you have good tests. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this one up here because I'm just gonna poke at it till I break it at this point. And I'm really out of good content to go through here. So I basically had my idea. I fleshed it out. I'm definitely doing some advanced things here with hash tables, right? Because the trick is the properties. These are just strings, and I probably could have went into more detail as I was doing it, but I could see it as I was doing it, and I got this nice little function here. So this works if I have individual objects with properties, right? And I know the situation that we also have is you might have an object with an array, for example, members of. That's probably what the on that thread, the OP was really wanting to do was he had the object, he had an array of things, and take that array and make them column headings with the intersection. So I might step back from this and come back to that later, because sometimes I need to deep dive in and then step back, work with it, and come back to the problem. And at that point, we're also getting pretty long in this video, probably longer than anybody's probably going to sit through the whole thing. So if you're with me at this point, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. But this is cool. I got a pivot table function. I got pester tests to validate. And I think we're all set here. So until next time, I appreciate you watching these videos, and we'll just call it a night.